coffee, jello shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
There's a new study that revealed the most disappointing tourist traps in the world.
Yeah.
And some of these are like, man, I'd love to see these places, but I don't want to deal with all the people, all the tourists.
Yeah.
And then do you ever
I
feel...
don't want to deal with the people like me.
Like me. Do you ever feel like when you are a tourist and then you see yourself around all the other tourists, you start, I don't know, I'm like, these people are idiots.
I know, I'm not like them.
I'm not like them, right. But then I'm standing right in the middle of all of them.
I mean, it's a perfect example that when you see a place that you hear about on Instagram or on, TikTok, and it's beautiful and it's serene and they're alone, and the reality is you go to these places and there's 30 people in your way to take a picture.
I'd love to see the Statue of Liberty. I'd love to see, some sort of statue or something, but it's like...
It's not just going to be you hanging out there. It's like, oh my God, can you move? I'm trying to look at
the Instagram photos are all deceiving.
Even
it's
when
like
I went to Crater
before
Lake
opening.
over the weekend, like that video of the water, it's like, oh, it's so serene.
Yeah, it
and
was so
still
quiet,
and
I noticed in
blue.
the video.
Yeah, then you flip around the camera and there's 3,000 people.
Yeah, you
So-
have to be close up, and it's like
Yeah.
this one little wedge is serene.
Yeah.
My friend lived in New York, and he said that he lived there his entire life and never, not once, went to Statue of
That's
Liberty
so
or anything like
common,
that
though,
because
you
of
know?
the tourists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
It's like New
what a
Yorkers
nightmare.
never go to Times Square. They're never doing any of
Yeah.
that stuff.
what for you? Before I get down to this list here, what is the most disappointing tourist trap for you? Like you were so excited to go, then you saw it, and you're like, "This is a waste of time." I remember, I think my friend and I were talking about this, and she said Mount Rushmore.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
because it's
I
in
was-
the middle
huge
of
disappointment.
nowhere, right?
Yeah, it's in South Dakota. We actually, when I was driving out to Spokane, when I moved there, we stopped at Mount Rushmore. And I was expecting it to be closer, and it's not.
Like you mean closer, like the mountain, like the faces?
Yeah, so like...
Because it doesn't
I'm-
look that far away from the
Well,
pictures.
it is. Like you walk up to like the little fence where you're allowed to go, and there's like a plaque, and you can take a picture or whatever. But it's like a rock face. It's like a ways away. So I'm like, oh, I think there's George Washington. I think that's. I don't know.
I didn't
who
realize
that
it was
is.
that far
Yeah.
away.
So it's, and I mean, obviously you can see it, but it's not as close as you might imagine. And then you just go and you see it, and you're like, all right, saw it.
Yeah,
Time
all
to
right.
get back in the car.
Turn around. We're still in South Dakota.
Exactly.
Yeah. What's the most disappointing tourist trap for you? 98197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. You can also send us a talkback through our iHeartRadio app. But new research identified from Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco and Wall Drug in South Dakota. Wall Drug sounds like a place where
Down
they've
here at
got
Wall
everything.
Drug.
I've been to both of those places.
Really?
Yeah.
Get some ammo and some cat litter. And
Wall Drug is amazing.
Wall Drug is funny because Wall Drug is in, you said South Dakota, right? And you're driving and there's just like nothing for hundreds of miles except for these billboards advertising Wall Drug. And it's like 25-cent donuts, free water, like all this like stupid advertisements. And then you get there and it's just like a massive strip mall.
yeah, well,
So like it's not that exciting, but it's something, you know?
Fisherman's Wharf in San Francisco and Wall Drug in South Dakota have been named the worst tourist traps globally.
Wow.
Both locations garnered 1,000 negative reviews each. Wall Drug, originally a small pharmacy, now spans 76,000 square feet and attracts 2 million visitors annually. Despite offering coffee for 5 cents and Western art, some critics label it as tacky.
Come on. Like, what were you expecting?
Fisherman's Wharf.
Fisherman's Wharf is all, I mean, it's just
Oh, I guess
like,
that place was, that place was Wall Drug.
Yeah.
Fisherman's Wharf, drawing in 12 million tourists yearly, disappoints many with its crowded and rundown appearance.
Yeah.
Other tourist traps include Spain's Las Rambalas.
I don't know what that is.
Ramblas?
I have no idea.
Spain's,
Ramblas.
what is that?
What is it?
Rambulas.
Anyway, that and Dublin's Temple Bar.
Oh.
Well, you can go check that out when you're in Ireland.
I'm not going to be in Dublin, though. Part of my family will be there. I'll send them there
Oh, yeah,
at
yeah.
the beginning of the trip.
Temple.
Because was it next month you guys are going?
Oh, wait, I guess it's not that next month yet. We're getting close, though. A couple of weeks.
Let's see. Checkpoint Charlie in Germany is also on the list. So, yeah, what's the most disappointing tourist trap for you? 866-445-1059 is the phone number. Drew, you've been to a lot of places. You've been to Jolly O, England.
Yeah. And I've been to a lot of places that and I do have to put it all like compartmentalized because a lot of the stuff I was annoyed at as a kid
Yeah.
I don't think would be a tourist trap to me now. You know, it's like going to an old castle and you're like, we traveled 80 miles to come to this castle and
Yeah.
all you do is go stand out front in a garden. But now I can see what you're supposed to be looking at, which is all of the heritage. I'll keep it stateside for a quick one, which will probably be an unpopular one because I think people like to do this. When I went up the Empire State Building, I felt like that was so mediocre. I felt like I was walking through an office and then switching elevators, walking through an office, going up another level, and now it's heritage. But I mean, I
just
feel
wasn't
like
that exciting. It's
I
an
feel
old
like
building. It's
I
an
feel
old
like I
building.
blew a half a day in New York City.
Oh, I
Just
see.
by
When
going up the
and you only get a
I've
couple
never been
days.
up the Empire State
I
Building.
ate pizza at the pizza joint right at the base of it, and it was delicious.
See, now I missed out on that.
I didn't do that.
I should have done that.
I didn't go to the top. What I want to do is I want to go, and it's probably disappointment. I want to go to the top of the One World Trade, and they have that elevator in there. Where it's like it gives you a time lapse of how the city was built.
See,
That's
I think
cool.
that would
I'd like
be
to do
cool.
that.
See, that would
And
be
I
cool.
have a personal connection to that,
Right.
just because I remember living through those times. But the Empire State Building just felt like old Eddie.
We want to know what is the most disappointing tourist trap. We got a lot of text coming in. This one is from 6525. It says the gum wall in Seattle makes me gag.
Ew.
They
I
say
do
Pike
not
Street
know-
Market in Seattle and also the gum wall.
The gum wall's so gross. Like, I can't even walk by it.
I have to agree about going down to Pike's Market. You go down there and it's like there's like this flea market thing going on, and it's just.
I've been
it's
down there
kinda
where it's not
tired.
that busy and it's not bad. Like when
Yeah.
it's
Yeah,
not
when
busy.
it's not busy.
But dude, when it's crowded, it's impossible.
But I find myself being like, I get in one end of the little flea market and I'm out the other end waiting for everyone else within minutes.
6584 says my disappointing tourist trap is absolutely Voodoo Donuts.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
7726 says the Golden Gate Bridge. It's nothing special. 5858 says I live in Tillamook and don't understand why everyone wants to go to the Tillamook Cheese Factory.
Hello,
come
'cause
on.
it's delicious.
You're
Free
too close.
samples.
Yeah, you're too close to the fire, bro.
Yeah, I hear they've updated their ice cream section. I haven't been since I was like
Oh.
15 or whatever.
Yeah.
But when I was a kid, I just remember it being a tiny little area.
Yeah.
And now I hear Court told me that it's like a thing.
Now they bring the mug.
Yeah, I'm ready for the muck. Let's see. 4453 says my oh no, sorry, that's from something else.
Oh, okay.
They were talking.
I will
they were
also
whispering
say-
sweet nothings to Court. This person, and I was reading it.
Jealous?
Here's another one. Space Needle.
Oh, I will. No.
I wouldn't
will
have dinner up there.
I will
I
fight
was
you.
in a wedding at the Space Needle and it was still boring.
I will fight you. I love this Space Needle. I will go up the Space Needle every time I go to Seattle. I love it so much.
I like it too. I had dinner up there once. It was like $110, and it was awful.
Oh yeah, of course.
The
'Cause
food
you
was
don't
not
pay
good.
for the food.
But
you
the
pay
thing
for the
spun.
view.
Yeah, it was rad. Like
That is no excuse.
it
You
was
should
fun.
be you should be having an epic meal up there. It's like Portland City Grill.
Yeah.
You don't go up there and be like, deal with the view, hate the steak. Everybody
Yeah,
loves
the steak's
food.
good there, but the food's not that great. I feel like there's a lot of
I
things on
don't
the
mind
menu
it.
that aren't wonderful
Yeah.
there.
And I mean, when I was going up the Space Needle, it was like $25 a pop. I'm sure it's gone
Oh,
up in
geez.
price.
It's probably
since then.
$50 to
Oh,
get
yeah,
up there. right?
Probably.
7462 says Moe's is overrated.
Oh yeah, so I'm outside of Moe's all the time and never go there. The fat line out the front is not merited whatsoever based on menu, taste, or experience.
What's the most disappointing tourist trap for you? 866-445-1059. You can also shoot us a talkback message through our iHeartRadio app. If you don't have the app, download it for your cell phone, and once you have the Brew streaming, press the microphone button to record something. Drew's got sports next. What do you have?
It is a big day in golf as another championship on the way.
Real fast, I want to tell you about my friends at the Advocates. The next time you're in an accident, you need to reach out to these people. AdvocatesLaw.com. Ken and Donnie, I know them personally. Maybe you've seen them on TV. That's actual Ken and Donnie in the commercials. They're going to fight for you to make sure that these insurance companies pay you the money that you're owed. You pay them every money to help you out when you're in an accident, to take care of your recovery and your bills. Why do they get all dodgy when it actually is time to come to pay? Well, that's because to them, you're just a number. To the insurance companies, you're just a number, and it actually hurts their bottom line to pay you money. So they're going to do everything they can to avoid that. The Advocates won't let that happen. They know exactly what to say and exactly what to do to these insurance companies to make sure that they pay you what you're owed. So check them out, advocateslaw.com. Even if you're not sure if you have a case, tell them your story. They will be able to point you in the right direction either way because they're just good people. Advocateslaw.com. They don't get paid until you win, so there's no risk to you. All right, the next time you're in an accident, you're going to need more than an attorney. You're going to need an advocate. Check them out and tell them Tanner sent you. Advocateslaw.com. That's advocateslaw.com.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom, for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
1, 2, 3.
And now, Bruce Sports. Here's Drew.
Well, it was a big day for Ichiro Suzuki as he became the first Japanese-born player to be enshrined in the National Baseball Hall of Fame, one of 5 members to be brought into the hallowed institution. Now, Ichiro is a god in Seattle. He also played in New York, but his consistency like none other. Ichiro, of course, almost a consensus Hall of Famer. Only one writer did not pick this guy to be in, which is still just the biggest laughingstock. The writer did never come forward, never admitted that they were the one who voted against the one guy who deserved every single vote. And Ichiro had even gone to the point of saying, "You're invited to my house for dinner to explain your vote, and we can be friends." Yesterday, he rescinded that invite. He goes, "Well, now that it's over, you're no longer invited to my house, even though I don't know who you are." But he had a light spirit about him the whole time, talking about the ride and how grateful he is.
Going into America's Baseball Hall of Fame was never my goal. I didn't even know there was one until I visited Cooperstown for the first time in 2001. But being here today sure feels like a fantastic dream. Thank you.
And you will definitely be able to see his jersey in the Raptors in Seattle forever. And the other big story that a lot of people don't know about is, I spent 8 games at the Oswego Cup soccer tournament over the weekend with the U10 and the U8 girls teams, which you guys hear is a pretty big deal right now.
Yeah?
Yeah, they've been all over the news.
We got all the way to the... We got to the second round where if you win, you go to the championship.
Mm-hmm.
Went to penalty kicks. Went to penalty kicks. Went to overtime in those penalty kicks where the girls prevailed. They did the whole carry them off of the field.
That's
And,
awesome.
Lucy got her first ever medal in a tournament. They finished second, but it was a hard battle.
That's very
And I feel like all the parents deserve a medal for getting through it as well.
Yeah.
But yeah, the joy at the pizza party was pretty sweet. There's your sports.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Congratulations. Proud dad, I'm sure.
For sure.
All right. We earlier were talking about the most overrated tourist traps. Places you'd love to see, but it's like, I don't want to get stuck in it. And then when you're there, you're like, oh, this is a waste of time in the first place. Like Mount Rushmore, I hear, is a big waste of time. See, 9287 says, good morning, Brew Crew. Happy Bing Bong to you. They want to know, is Cash Squatch still going? No.
Negative.
It has
Last
ended.
week. We mentioned that about 4 times every 10 seconds.
Sorry, but it'll be back, I'm sure.
5679 says Crater Lake is very underrated. We decided to take a detour to see it on our way to California. And while the lake is beautiful, there isn't much to do other than admire it.
Oh, that's very true.
The water is closed off to everything except for tours and special electric boats, and which was quite expensive.
Yeah, we didn't go on the tour. We just went down to the water and jumped in, and but it is, and then you have to hike all the way up.
11, really? I saw the video that what goes down must come up, and so you be prepared for that.
Do all that.
Bring a protein bar.
Yep.
5679, 1116 says the Space Needle is a tourist trap. The tallest building in Seattle has an observation deck on the 76th floor, and I'd say it's twice as tall as the Space Needle. In fact, you can look down and see the Space Needle a long way down.
Look at you down there. Little needle.
3842 says In-N-Out Burger is a disappointment.
Stop it.
I don't understand why people drive so far to wait a half an hour for a mediocre burger.
It is a long wait, but it's a delicious
the
burger.
The burger is good.
You can say their fries are overrated. I don't know if anyone's ever rated them high, but...
4499 says the Eiffel Tower wasn't exactly disappointing, but you get there and you stand in line for hours just to get a ticket to enter, and then it's another... hour more to get to each level. So
now, not to knock on your opinion, but I've been to it a few times, and compared to a Space Needle, let's do that. Or the Eiffel Tower is just an amazing piece of construction. I mean, when you walk up the thing, the whole time you're going, "Are you kidding me?"
Yeah, when they built
Humans built this thing.
I think it was built for a World Fair or some sort of, and then the intention was to tear it down, and then they just decided to leave
That's
it.
like
so epic.
That's every World Fair structure. Because wasn't the Space Needle built for a World Fair too?
I don't know.
I'm
It
pretty
would make
sure.
it would make sense.
And then we're just gonna leave it.
it's kind of sweet.
All right, more of your calls and texts coming up here in just a few minutes. Coming up later on this morning, we got some tickets to go see 311. We'll do that around 7:30.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Now, what's trending?
All right, online at 1059thebrew.com. By the way, I want to apologize. We've had so many technical issues lately. Like all the donkey shows didn't get loaded last week. Like I loaded them and there was glitching and I couldn't get them up. So I'm going to try to get them up today.
Okay.
So we'll have a little bit of a backlog. And there was that video from last week. Just nothing would work last week. Drew, you saw me in here on Friday. I was melting down.
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Trying to post pictures and videos and it wouldn't work. And I don't know why, but
Because
In the digital world, there's no guarantees.
it's really
It
frustrating.
might just
technology,
beep bop you.
you know?
Yeah, it would just beep bop me. Hold on, I have a beep bop. And
Beep, bop, boop, boop.
there it is.
There it is.
It's
We
worth the
got
wait.
Bob.
Online, we're going to have this video up. It's Alice Cooper and Johnny Depp. They actually covered Black Sabbath's Paranoid over the weekend to show some support for Ozzy. You know, honor the guy over the weekend. Johnny Depp's pretty good at guitar, I guess. You know,
Yeah, not
they're
bad.
rocking along.
Well,
I wanna hear him sing.
they're in that band. What band? Some vampire, Hollywood vampires
Oh,
or
God.
whatever, right?
I think you're right.
Him and Alice Cooper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll have that online at 1059thebrew.com and our Donkey Show podcast and a bunch of trailers. I saw Fantastic Four over the weekend and Happy Gilmore too.
Oh,
I saw Happy Gilmore.
How was that?
Which one do you want the review on first?
I want Happy Gilmore.
Happy
too.
Gilmore
I don't-
too?
I don't care about Fantastic Four.
The movie exists.
Okay.
It's a thing.
I thought it was fun. I watched it with kids, so like it was slapstick, so I was able to hold them.
I mean, listen, if you're going there expecting Citizen Kane, you're going to be disappointed. But if you go in there knowing it's a silly, ridiculous Adam Sandler movie with too many cameos to the point where it's like distracting.
It's actually so many cameos that at one point in the movie, it's every single person for about a half hour.
Yeah, it's too
they go
much.
a half hour without an extra.
But like I was drinking while I was watching the movie, so I giggled a couple times. But you know,
Because
I mean,
it is what it is.
it's entertaining.
Yeah,
it's got
because
like a
the-
60-something% on Rotten Tomatoes, and that seems fair.
And just because there wasn't much plot to it, I was just kind of having fun out loud calling out the people. So if you treat it like a who's that and who's that game,
It would be a drinking game every time a cameo appears on Happy Gilmore 2.
you would be blacked
Be
out.
hammered.
Yeah.
But it was, whatever. At least it's free on Netflix. So
Yeah.
That's true.
I'd recommend at least one viewing if you're a Happy Gilmore fan.
Yeah, it covered an evening.
Fantastic Four was really great. It set the tone for the next Marvel movie, which is Avengers Doomsday. That's where Robert Downey Jr. is going to be back as Doom. And the movie was good. I mean, I think I liked Superman more, believe it or not.
Oh, wow.
But
Yeah.
I liked
Okay.
Fantastic Four.
So-
it was good. It's definitely worth a view. And you don't need to watch any other Marvel movie or TV show to know what the hell's
That's
happening.
nice.
Well, it's good to know that there's two movies in the hopper, Superman and Fantastic Four, if you're
Yeah.
looking for something good.
Both are visually incredible to look at. Like,
Yeah.
and
That's what I would
they did
expect
a really good
from
job.
those movies,
Was-
you know.
Is Pedro
He's great.
good?
He's great.
Nice.
Yeah, the whole cast is really good. So check that out. We have the trailers at 1059thebrew.com. We are commercial free with The Offspring.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Happy Monday. We got to talk back through our iHeartRadio app. You know, I went and saw Fantastic Four over the weekend. This guy heard me talking about it and said this.
Howdy, Brew Crew.
Or I think it was Happy Gilmore he was talking about. Sorry. Here we go.
Howdy, Brew Crew. I watched Happy Gilmore as well on Friday, and it was great after taking some mushrooms. So give that a shot. Oh. Bing bong.
Okay.
Interesting. All right.
Well, you could watch a grain silo on mushrooms. You'd be fine.
Shrooms make everything more interesting.
I guess so. Yeah, I guess we'll have to give that a shot.
Okay.
Don't do drugs, kids. 98197. That is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. We have some text coming in. This one says, while impossible to live up to the standards set by the Infinity Saga, Fantastic Four is Marvel's spectacular return to form.
Oh, wow.
That's what 3049 said.
That was
That
was that Ebert from the grave? That was about as official as it gets.
Very official review.
It really was, like, visually the best thing they put out in years. And, yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing what happens. I can't believe the very next movie, though, is Avengers Doomsday. Like, this is we're not going to have, like, another movie to build up to this.
I was going to say, do you think they're going backwards with that?
I don't know, it just feels like they're rushing it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like we just need a little bit more build up that RDJ is Dr. Doom, you know? I don't know. Like, for Thanos, we saw him like 4 times before we actually saw the movie.
Yeah, you just bring Downey in immediately and boom.
Yeah, I just feel like we need to lead up to it, but whatever. What do I know?
Especially when we're used to him being a totally different character.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we'll see what happens, but the movies are good. 1059thebrew.com if you want to check out the trailers. I do want to ask about this today. My friend and I were discussing this because he comes over to my house and just opens my refrigerator.
Oh.
And, like, he's a buddy, so it's fine. But I go, bro, you just open my refrigerator, like, without asking. And he just, like, was kind of baffled that I was baffled by that. Like, I don't know. Is it rude to go over to somebody's house and just open their refrigerator without asking? He says no. I say it absolutely is. It wasn't a big deal because I love my bruh. But, like, what are you doing? Going, like, if this is somebody else's house.
Right.
Yeah.
And, you know, like that, like, and you touch my last bit of whatever that I'm saving, I'm going to be upset.
Yeah.
Yeah, what was he looking for? Like a drink?
He said a drink.
or-
And then he
okay.
brought up this line from, I guess, I haven't seen the show. I've only seen, like, episodes here and there, but Curb Your Enthusiasm, I guess on that show, the theory was you don't need permission to take a liquid from a refrigerator. You do need permission to take a solid.
Okay. I almost.
First of all, I love that it's been classified.
I told him to get out right there.
It's pretty hilarious.
But like, is that really a thing?
I think that not everybody is created equal in your fridge.
Mm-hmm. And I think it depends on your relationship to that person. Like if my best friend comes over and just like opens my fridge, I don't care. But if I'm bringing somebody back to my place for the first time and they just walk straight to my fridge and start going through my stuff, I'm like, no.
Dude, and that happened once. I was dating this girl and she came over the first time she was in my house. Within 5 minutes, she just opened because I have those 2 doors, and she just opened both of them up like it was her closet.
Well, what are you doing?
And I was like, what? Yeah, like what's going on there?
It's like let me offer you a drink, or let me ask if you need anything.
It just to me makes me feel like you're just making yourself home. It's you're a little too comfortable.
Early, yeah. But I do kind of agree with the drink thing. It's like, grab a soda, grab a beer, whatever.
Ask for food.
But don't be making a sandwich.
I would never open someone's refrigerator without asking. I think it is so rude. It doesn't matter. Like, I mean, even if I know Drew super well, I would never go to his house and just open the fridge.
It's just like be weird.
It's just weird.
Now, I feel like certain people are in a lane where they can. You would be allowed to do that. You would be allowed to do that at my house. Certain people could do that. Like my buddy Luke will show up for a week at a time, and he's got his head in my fridge all the time.
Okay, yeah, but you got people staying there for the weekend.
But even
you got to have access.
Some people, like if you come over and like we're gonna watch a game, just go get a beer or something.
Okay, that's understandable.
But if you're like, but I say that, but I don't do that. Right. I ask permission. So like, there are certain people where I wouldn't be bothered. There are certain people where I'm like, did you just go right to my fridge?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And again, I wasn't really bothered, and my buddy did it. He still kept the thing in his hand.
You're just kind of
I was just like, because I was gonna bust his balls. Like, bro, you just opened somebody's fridge without asking, and then we got to this whole like, a liquid's okay. I have to ask for solid.
It's a good conversation.
I was like, that's insane. Like, this is my house. You don't just come over there and start helping yourself.
Yeah.
And like again, family members one thing, best friend Laura, I suppose. But even then, I'm gonna say something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But what do you think? Who's the a-hole?
When it's right away, too. It's like you just walk into your house and go straight to the fridge and open it.
Yeah.
And you're like, how many of those are you going to grab? Like, I start to think, is this going to be a repeat offense? If you grab a third and you're not like, hey, do you mind that I'm drinking your beers?
I'd be like, kind of.
98197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. This text comes to us from 1880. It says, my best friends do this all the time, and I do that to them if I'm over at their house. And I'm thirsty, and if that's the case, I just get a drink.
Mm-hmm.
7675 says, for me personally, they ask the first time, and then I tell them, Mikasu, was it Mike?
Mikasa.
Sukasa.
My house is your house.
But he says, I do need them to ask at least first.
Sure.
Yeah, I think you should always ask.
7675 says, your friend's kind of an a-hole for opening the fridge.
Mm-hmm. There's definitely, you should be asking permission. It's just certain friends don't.
You know what? I'm gonna, those friends who don't. I have a friend. I haven't invited him over anymore because.
Is it because he kept opening your fridge?
He comes and consumes everything that I have.
Yeah.
You ever have a friend like that?
No, but that's crazy.
He comes over and like I remember one time I had a little bit of weed and he smoked all of my weed.
Oh,
he goes there and eats all of my chips. I ate like a whole bag of Doritos.
Why would you think that's okay to
do?
Dude,
and like when we were kids, I remember him doing that and thinking, oh, well, whatever. But like I invited him over again as an adult and he did that.
still did it.
And I never have invited him back since.
Yeah.
Invited him back since. Because, dude, like you ate about $70 of the stuff.
I've cut off a friendship with a guy. I mean, he was bigger and stronger than all of us, and he would always grab your chips and he would always take a swig off your drink or tax a little bit of your weed or whatever it was. And we grew up and he was still doing it. And one day it was like a revolt of the normal sized people against the giant. And everybody he got banished. Like I remember we were in the snow and everyone just sent this man away and our friendship was terminated.
Yeah, I mean, if you want a snack and you're going over to somebody's house, bring your own snack.
And stop taxing people.
Fat Thor says, I got no problem. I got no problem with people getting into the fridge. My problem is when they come over and they take their pants off and sit on my couch like they live here.
Yeah.
9171 says, just put the price tags on everything in your fridge. Problem solved.
Have
Open
like
a little
a
shop.
vending machine instead of a fridge.
That'd be my kid. She'd be selling you your LaCroix.
All right, we got some talkback messages coming in through our iHeartRadio app. Download the app for your cell phone. It's free. Once you have the Brew streaming, press the microphone button.
It's kind of the opposite for me. When my family gets into my stuff, it irritates me because they know what's mine. But whenever a friend comes over, it's not as big of a deal. But I do have one or two good friends in my life that the saying is, if I got it, you got it. So if they go in my refrigerator and take a beer, it is what it is. But remember, good friend will always leave you one of anything.
Oh yeah, they
I
can't
like
be.
that.
They
Don't
can't be
you don't
eating
take
all
a
your
You
stuff.
don't just roll in and take a last Coors Light.
No.
That's aggressive.
This text says, my wife's piece of crap brother comes to our house and always drinks up all of my beer and never replaces it. What a POS.
Yeah, that's annoying.
Repeat offender.
Is it okay when someone comes to your house, like a guest, whoever it is, and just opens your fridge, starts going through your stuff, taking things? 866-445-1059 is the phone number. Your calls and texts coming up. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Is it rude to open up somebody's refrigerator and go through it and start taking things without asking? I had a friend over the weekend, open the fridge, and I'm like, bro, like it's fine, I like you, but you just opened my fridge without asking?
Yeah.
And like he still took the item. It was fine. It wasn't a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
I have those items in there for guests, right? But I was just surprised that he just did it because it's not like I don't think he's ever been to my house before. Maybe once.
Yeah, see, that's weird to go to somebody's house that you've never been and just make yourself right at home.
Right. Now, we're friends and we're close and everything, but...
So if you would have asked, you would have been like, sure, bro,
course.
whatever you want.
Yeah,
but
just
it's
open
just
it up.
kind of presumptuous.
I think part of the reason I'm desensitized to it is I've never lived alone. Like I
Oh,
have
yeah.
I have years ago, but my
been a
entire
while.
life I'm never alone. There's always someone in my fridge. 40 roommates or a frat house or never really had my own space.
I think part of it for me, too, is that, like, sometimes I'm a little self-conscious. Like, right now, I have, like, a mystery smell in my fridge. And I'm like, and I think I just need to, like, give it a good clean.
Yeah.
But I'm like, don't open my fridge and let that smell out. Like, now I'm embarrassed.
Yeah. Or like, what if you just, you've got some expired food in there or it's a
Yeah.
mess.
Right.
Or you've got a lot of like fattening foods and you're, a couple of 2 liters of Mountain Dew in there, whatever it is.
Yeah.
You got to find that stink, Laura.
Yeah, I had that problem a couple of weeks ago and I had to.
You got to dig.
I need
got the whole thing.
Maybe need to get like some baking soda too
Something
to absorb
going.
that smell.
We got to talk back to our iHeartRadio app.
Morning Brew Crew. I've had the same group of friends for 20, 25 years, and golden rule is just ask that first time, hey man, can I have a beer? Or care if I grab something to eat? I'll get you back later. After that, it's free game. You've asked. It's open refrigerator policy, but you gotta ask. It's kind of messed up. Have a good day, guys.
Thank you. We got some text messages coming in on our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. This one's from 7711. It says, because he didn't ask his permission before he acted as the father to his own children, and being as it was the Big D's house, I don't know, he punched him so hard that my kid's dad heads bounced off the fridge and in front of the shelf in front of our kids.
What?
Watched the Big D, then proceed to inform my children. This is what happens when you disrespect and you don't ask before touching something that doesn't belong to you.
Just whooped someone right there for a lesson for the kids.
All right, I did not do
Seems
that.
aggressive. Yeah.
Tanner, no, you should have taken control of the situation.
Just smash his head against the fridge.
Bro!
Don't touch them. Those are my
Hands off!
Those are my grapes. We have this text from 7713. It says, Nick from Vancouver. So I'm sorry. This was the beginning of that text. Why did people do this? Send multiple texts of the same. So he started and said, my kids asked my husband to get him something to drink. And as they were getting the juice for our kids, my stepdad came behind him and punched him in the back of the head.
Oh,
wow.
And thus started that.
Wow.
This one's from
Reasonable.
49. It says, I think it depends. I have a couple of friends, and I don't think it would be an issue to grab a snack or a Pepsi, but it has to be like your best friends or family. Other than that, you should ask.
Yeah.
Some B-teamers over, and you're like, whoa, bro.
Well, I'm going to play this for my friend later today and be like, dude, this is the etiquette. Everyone says that you were a little bit rude.
Everyone agrees that you were out of line, bro.
Because it is easy just to ask the first time, and most people, bros, will go, oh, yeah, have whatever you want.
Exactly.
And so if you, that's why I would just go, do you mind if I grab a XYZ?
Unless it's the last pudding pop. If you touch my last pudding pop, there will be hell to
That's
all
like
over.
the rule the guy said, never take a last.
We have another talk back there app.
Yeah, I think maybe part of it is based on how you were raised. I had a friend growing up who used to frickin' walk over to my house, wouldn't knock. He just walked
Same.
right through the front door, straight to the fridge, pull whatever he wanted. But on the flip side, I'd go to his house and knock on the door, and his parents would get irritated with me, like, why are you knocking on the door? You pretty much live here. I'd ask for something to drink. They'd be like, you know where the fridge is. Stop asking. Just get it. Don't annoy us.
So it's different rules in different houses.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, my best friend Chris, he lived right next door to me. It was nice. Like our bedroom windows we could see each other.
That's cool.
And he would just walk in. I never told him he could do that. He just did it. And my mom was okay with it.
Mm-hmm.
I never did it to his house, though.
Now, I did. One of my best friend's houses was that way. That if you could have knocked on the door all day, that you're to let yourself in and you're to go get your own drinks. My house was a permission house.
Yeah.
And even my kids, I wish they would not open my fridge every 5 seconds and be a fruit bat, but they are, just in there.
Even the friends' houses, though, that I will walk into, because I have some friends now who, like, if you know that I'm coming over in, like, a general sense of time, like, I'll just walk in the door, but I'm not going to walk in the door and then open the fridge, you know? I'm gonna say,
Draw
what's
the line
up?
there.
So what do you got in here? What do you got? So,
Yeah.
This text says, my fridge has the same rules as vampires. You need to be invited in.
Fair.
There it is. All right, thank you. More of your calls and texts coming up in just a few minutes. Also coming up, we've got tickets to go see 311 at the Cuthbert Amphitheater in Eugene. We got these all week. We'll do that here in less than 15 minutes on The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Portland's rock station. It's 105.9 The Brew. Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Man, Pearl Jam's got a lot of stuff coming out. They got a box set coming out. That the box set looks incredible. It's got their entire catalog, but it's going to cost you north of $500.
Dang.
And they also have a book coming out in October because everyone knows the best way to consume rock and roll is in book form.
Of course.
Is it like a memoir or
Yeah,
like
it's
a
like the
photo
story
book?
of their career. So maybe they'll turn it into a movie or something in the future.
see.
But that'll be out October 14th if you want to pick that up.
Nice.
All right, coming up next, we got some tickets to go see another band, 311, down in Eugene at the Cuthbert Amphitheater, which I'm going to tell you right now, if you don't smoke, you will get a contact high.
Yeah.
Because holy hell, every time I'm in Eugene at the Cuthbert, doesn't matter what band it is, but 311?
Oh, for sure.
I remember my friend had their, like, it was like a DVD that came with the CD, or maybe you had to buy it. I don't remember, but the whole DVD was them on tour just showing off their weed.
Wow.
And this is before it was legal, right? So they just had bags of the sticky icky.
So it's not just like their fans are doing it because
They are.
They love weed.
They love it.
Okay.
I mean, you can hear it in their music.
Yeah.
They're high on
And
the mics.
it's coming up quick. It's just 2 weeks away.
Yep.
Oh, that's crazy.
And if you want to go, coming up next, we're going to play a brand new game called Two Truths and a Lie.
Oh.
What we're going to do is two people on the show here will be telling you a true story. One of us will be telling you a lie, and you just have to figure out which one is telling the lie. Right?
That's right.
Looking for callers 10 and 11, 866-445-1059 is the phone number. We'll do that right after Animals. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura on The Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
All right. Coming up in just 2 weeks, 311 is going to be at the Cuthbert Amphitheater in Eugene. And if you want to go, we'll have your tickets all this week with a fun game we're going to call Two Truths and a Lie.
Yeah.
Very simple. We're going to give you two truths. We're all going to tell stories here on the show about ourselves, something personal about ourselves. Two of us are telling the truth. One of us will be telling the lie.
Yep.
And you just have to figure out which one is which to get the tickets to a 311.
That's easy enough.
Laura, you want to go first?
Sure, I can go first. My factoid is that I have lived in 7 states.
7 different states.
Yes.
Oh.
What are those states?
I'm not going to tell you that. That's too much information.
Is that too much?
Yeah.
All right. 7 states. I know you've lived
That's
around.
all, that's all you are giving us?
Yeah, you want to know which states? You want me to list them? Should I?
Well, let's see if you can. I don't know.
Okay. All right. I have lived in Illinois. I have lived in Michigan. I have lived in Indiana, West Virginia, Washington State, Colorado, and Oregon.
All right. What's yours, Drew?
Mine is that I have been involved in a automobile heist. I took a joyride in a stolen vehicle. It went down like this. A guy I slant knew pulled up next to me in a pretty nice black sports car. And I was talking to him through the window. He asked me if I wanted to go for a ride. He was known to have some pretty good weed. And so I was like, all right, sure, I'll go with you, Adam. Hopped into his car, and we started to drive. And he informed me about 15 miles out of town as we are hauling ass down a country road that the car is not his and that he took it from his apartment complex and grabbed the keys from another guy who lives there without permission. And we were absolutely driving this car. I was frightened out of my mind, but we were driving this car like he'd stolen it. And he did a couple of cookies in it. He got into the gravel. I thought he was going to crash it. I asked to get out a couple of times. And finally, after protest, I was dropped off back at home. I don't know what happened to the car or the dude, but that's it.
Right. All right. Oh.
I mean, I know that the guy, remained at school for a couple more weeks, and then I never saw him again.
My little factoid, is it a truth or a lie? My wisdom teeth don't exist. I'm never gonna get them.
You never had them at all?
Never had them at all. My dentist was looking at my mouth in high school and goes, "Oh, you're never gonna get your wisdom teeth."
How do they know that?
They're not there.
Yeah,
Just
but
an empty- there's just an empty pocket.
Couldn't they grow?
Are there holes?
No, there's not really anything there.
Just normal.
Yeah.
I guess holes are from ripping them out, right?
I guess.
Yeah.
Man,
Well, there it is.
You're like a mutant.
Two truths and a lie. Who is telling the lie here on the show this morning? 866-445-1059 is the phone number. Our first contestant is calling from Eugene. If he wins, it'd be pretty easy for him.
Yeah, that is easy peasy.
Braden, good morning.
Good morning. How's it going today?
Good, man. Two truths and a lie, brother. Who's telling the lie?
I want to say that it's Laura. I feel like she's probably lived in more states or less states than that.
Is Laura telling the lie?
That is not a lie. Those 7 states are the states that I have lived.
I did think it
in.
was kind of small at first. I was like, wait a second.
Yeah.
I thought you lived in more places, but no, that was the truth.
I've been to a lot of states, but I have not lived.
All right, thanks,
more
Braden.
than 7.
Got to go to our next contestant who's calling from Clackamas. His name is Josh. Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Brew Crew.
What's up? Who's telling the lie, brother?
Oh, man. I'm going to go with the stolen rod.
Is Drew's story a lie?
It actually is a lie. That did not happen.
See, we knew you didn't have it in you to steal a car.
Yeah. Could have never done it myself. I could see myself in it, though.
That's a good story, though.
You're gonna be headed down to Eugene in just 2 weeks to see 311 live at the Cuthbert, my friend.
Let's do this. Let's go.
All right. Hang on. We'll get your information and we'll do it again tomorrow. Yeah. 2 truths and a lie. I think that's the game.
So you really don't have your teeth?
No,
Your
it's
wisdom
awesome.
teeth. Wow.
Like, because I've heard people who go through it
It's a nightmare.
It's really painful, and
I have all of mine, but they just fit, so they haven't been taken out.
And that's rare. I had the emergency surgery wailing in a dentist's office.
because when like the pain kicks in, it's like immediate, right?
And the pressure, it's like it just starts to vice your head.
You think it would be a little like you could feel
Gradual.
it coming.
Mm-hmm.
You get like a day or two of, I think we need to get this done, to, where's the place?
Yeah.
I had no appointment. I was crying and begging in the lobby, and they're like, "Sir, you have to sit down. You're being obnoxious."
And when I remember when the dentist told me that I didn't have wisdom teeth, I went, "Yes."
I mean,
Yes, so
That's
lucky.
great.
Don't
I'm
have to worry
super
about it.
Just skip that.
All right, 98197. That's our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. Hang on.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
story.
Time to go around the room sharing what we think the biggest stories of the day are. Drew, you want to kick this off?
Sure. I don't know if this means certain doom, but Panera is now laying people off, the bread company. And where it's starting here in the first place, they're going to be shutting down their fresh dough production operations in underperforming locations. So some facilities have already started doing this and closing up shop. Panera will now be leaning on, and this is not a good deal, third-party contractors who will prepare their dough following their recipe and then ship it frozen to the restaurant.
That's lame.
And that takes away the whole idea of it. I think that Panera's business model would have been epic in like 1995 when nobody really cared about what was in the food, just that it was comforting and warm and you could get some bread and soup. But the fact that it's the same as going into In-N-Out Burger, when it comes to calorie count, why am I going to do? I can make soup at home.
Right.
And so that therein lies the problem. This could be the beginning of the end for Panera, but if that's your jam, go get your bread. Well, you can.
I think the big story of the day is a court has ruled in favor of a man who was photographed naked in his yard by the Google Street View car.
Oh.
You ever seen that thing drive around on the roads?
Yeah.
Yeah, I usually try to get naked in time and it's gone.
Well, this guy was just doing his thing, buck naked, and he got photographed, ended up on Google Maps, and he sued, and the court awarded him $12,500.
Okay.
$12,000.
Dude, and that's not a lot of money, but for $12,000, I will be spread eagle in my yard tonight, Google.
I
You
don't
can photograph me
understand, though.
anytime.
I don't understand how he can be mad about it when he's putting his junk on display for everyone to see. Like, I mean, maybe just don't be naked in your yard.
Is he still on Google Maps, or do
I
they
think
take him
they
off?
probably blurred it.
They
Yeah, they
blur
probably.
him out.
But it was over. He was in his yard, so it was a fenced yard. But the Google Cam it sits high up on the car.
It was, okay.
And so it photographed him over his yard.
I
so
was
that's
thinking there was no fence.
It's not like he's mowing his yard, buck naked.
See, I'd want the $12,000, and I'd want him to over-exaggerate my blur. Like, can you just double my blur and give me $12,000?
That's what the papers. That's what the agreement has.
Unblur it. Hit me with some Photoshop. Thanks. I think the big story is that at Fantastic Four, First Steps won the weekend box office. I don't think there's any surprises there. We all knew that was going to happen, but it came in first place at the North American box office. Made $118 million, made about $100 million more in the global market. And this is the first Fantastic Four movie to ever find success at the box office. So that's pretty impressive. Superman came in second with $24.9 million.
I liked Fantastic Four. I went and saw it on Saturday. It's fun. I do feel like the MCU's back, at least for a little bit. We'll see what happens with the next Avengers movie that's coming out in 2026. But yeah, I'm excited. You know, I'm interested to see what happens. But it's visually a beautiful movie.
Yeah,
it's nice to have that to be able to hit up a couple of superhero movies that were good.
All right, coming up next, we've got another edition of Who's the A-Hole. We'll set up a scenario, and then you'll get to decide. It's 105.9 The Brew. Tanner, Drew, and Laura, happy Monday.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes.
Super excited today because coming up around 9:30 this morning, the legendary Portland news anchor Jeff Gianola will be in studio with us.
Wow.
He's going to be here to discuss his massive career. You know, he's retiring after 40 plus years on television,
which is such a great ride.
Yeah. So Jeff Gianola will be in studio here around 9:30 this morning. Very excited to meet him. And I've never met him before, never talked to him in person.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever met him in person either.
I didn't think he knew we existed.
Well, I'm sure he didn't until he was emailed.
And now he does.
Well, we'll find out. 9:30 this morning. Listen for Jeff Gianola. It's time for another edition of Who's the A-Hole? All right. This happened to me over the weekend. I did that thing where I just had bags and bags of old clothes.
Yeah.
A lot of my fat clothes. I put some of them on, by the way, over the weekend, like the clothes that I wore, because I used to be like 300 pounds.
Did you do a fat kid fashion show?
I didn't take any photos, but I did
bummer.
I did put a pair of jeans on, and you could fit another me in those jeans. It's rad.
Yes.
And the same thing with the shirts. They were so, I couldn't believe how fat I was. Damn. Anyway, just a side note.
And giving it all away proves you're never going back.
I was rotund. But I put a bunch of clothes in trash bags, and we had like 8 or 9 trash bags of clothes. So
Dang.
I filled the Forerunner up.
You were overdue.
Yeah, I've been meaning to do it for a while. Like, they've just been sitting in a spare room, and I need to make some room. So we finally
Time
did
to
it.
go.
Did it yesterday. Took him to Goodwill, and I get that I had a lot of clothes. I had like 8 or 9 bags, but the dude who was there, accepting the donations, was such a jerk.
Why? What did he do?
Like, he saw that we had 8 or 9 bags, and he just was immediately irritated, and I don't know if he had to like empty the bags or whatever. You know, I thought, okay, well, maybe it's because it's close to closing, but it was like they didn't close till 8 and it was 6 o'clock.
Yeah, so that probably wouldn't have anything to do with
He's
it.
clearly working at the wrong place because clothes, I think, are like, if I'm working there, someone brings clothes, I'm like, oh, thank God. It's just clothes.
But I think that maybe he was like, I don't know. I'm trying to think from his position. He was such a jerk to me. Like, he's watching us unload the clothes and he's just standing there with the cart. Like, he's not helping, you know, there's like a lot of bags. You see the Forerunner is stuffed full, but he just like is refusing to help, and he's huffing and puffing. And like, really, every time I ask him a question, he's short, and I can tell he's irritated. So I'm like, okay, what the hell is this? You know, maybe it's just because I dropped all the clothes off close to closing, and he's got to go through them all.
But no, that wouldn't have any. I mean, if it was 6 p.m. and they don't close till 8, I mean, that's what the donation center is for.
That's all your job is.
So then I asked
that
him
is
for
100% of your job.
I asked him for a tax receipt. you know, because it was probably like $800 worth of clothes.
Well, and
He's got a pocket full of
usually
100
they
of them.
Ask you if you want one.
This guy, it was like I asked to take away his tip. You know, when I asked him for a tax receipt, he was so upset and threw his hand on the stack of them, which were right behind him, right? He didn't need to get upset. There was a stack of them behind him. He throws his hand on it, rips one off, a bunch of them fall on the ground, and he just kind of like throws it to me.
Well, he's...
I'm like, what the hell?
Well, he's clearly out of line because you have... I mean, when I go to the donation center, same as you, they pull up with the cart, I help them, but they're grabbing what they can grab, and then they take the cart away and they hand me the thing. That's your whole job.
Because I didn't say anything, but I almost did. Because I was like, am I the a-hole? Because I showed up right before closing, and it was 8 or 9 bags. And
I feel like
the
amount,
they were full.
The amount of bags is probably why he was cranky, but also...
Because didn't you say they're still open for 2 hours?
Yeah, it was 6 o'clock. They didn't close till 8.
That's not... He has no reason to be mad about that.
The way he probably had to, it's probably his responsibility to go through the bags. Because if he was just the guy taking the bags and throwing them in a bin, like, that's it. That's all you have to do. But he's got to be the guy maybe who goes through everything. But even so, that's still your job. Like, why are you being...
Ask him, hey, you want a XX dress shirt? There's plenty in there, dude.
Yeah.
Go get them.
Well, when we left, I was just like, man, that guy just kind of like killed the vibe of the day, you know? And I thought to myself, well, some of those clothes are new because I'd never like put some of the jeans on.
Yeah.
Some of them had tags on them still. Some of them were stinky.
Mm-hmm.
And I was thinking to myself, well, at least he has to go through the stinky bag of musty ass clothes that have been in there for 4 years.
Yeah.
But, you know, am I the jerk? Because, you know how it is when you're at a restaurant and somebody comes in right before you close. Or, you know, you just cleaned the shelves at Target and then somebody comes in right before you close and they mess everything up. Am I the a-hole or is he the a-hole? 866-445-1059.
If he feels that 2 hours before closing is just before close, he's at the wrong job.
Right.
No, I listen. You're not.
I mean,
I'm
you know
not
what
fighting
I mean?
it.
2 hours, like that's not even close.
But you know, it was a lot of bags, and it was a Sunday, close to the end of the day. I'm assuming between 6 and 8 at a Goodwill on a Sunday night, it's probably not very busy.
And I can see how if his responsibility was to go through all of those bags by the end of the night, then yeah, that would be a lot of work. Maybe he thought he was going to have a chill rest of the evening, and then you show up with 9 bags. But I can't imagine that there would be any requirement to get through.
There was 2 guys. One guy totally walked away. He wasn't even involved.
Man, I just must go to a busy one because there's always like 3 or 4 guys like scurrying around like bugs around your car.
No, not at mine, man. It was, again, 6 o'clock on a Sunday, so I don't know if that was the reason, but am I the a-hole here, or is it the guy accepting the donations? Because, again, these are donations for people.
Right.
Yeah.
It's like I could have had a garage sale and tried to sell these, but I didn't. And I know
wanted
you're
to say
going to
charity, but they're selling your clothes.
Yeah, you're going to turn around and sell these pants for
way more than they're worth.
$12.
The words are thank you.
Exactly. Thanks for your donation. That's what you say.
9197 is our McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. You can also shoot us a talkback message through our iHeartRadio app. Who's the a-hole?
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
1, 2, 3. And now, Brew Sports. Here's Drew.
Well, Ichiro Suzuki had one of the great careers in the history of Major League Baseball. His numbers, they stand for themselves. 3,000 career hits or 262 hits in a single season. The guy was so good, but he said it wasn't his exceptional skills. It was actually the fact that he played the game like a professional. He respected the game, and so he studied the game, and that he wasn't born to be great, that this wasn't even his plan in the beginning. But when it was all said and done, what an amazing career. And the Seattle Mariners, very proud of this guy for all that he did for that city and that team. He talked about the whole process.
Going into America's Baseball Hall of Fame was never my goal. I didn't even know there was one until I visited Cooperstown for the first time in 2001. But being here today sure feels like a fantastic dream. Thank you.
I love his voice. I could like book on tape with Ichiro. Let's do this. And finally, Bubba Wallace climbed out of the number 23 car on Sunday, pumping his fist, and he had a reason to be excited. A historic win at the Brickyard 400 as he becomes the first black driver to win there, and it's very impressive. So stoked for Bubba Wallace. There's your sports.
All right, coming up in about an hour from now, the one and only Jeff Gianola will be in the studio to talk about his massive 40-plus year career. He's also, retiring, so we want to get his thoughts on all that. 9:30, listen for Jeff Gianola in studio. It is another edition of Who's the A-Hole right now, though. I dropped off a bunch of clothes at Goodwill over the weekend, and the guy at the donations center was just kind of like a jerk.
He was mean mugging.
I don't know if he was upset that I dropped off 9 bags of clothes, but he was. So I want to know who was the a-hole. More of your calls coming up after Phil Collins on the Brew.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
Gang, gang.
All right, who's the a-hole here? I went and dropped a bunch of clothes off at Goodwill over the weekend. Like, it was a lot, like 8 or 9 bags of clothes. And the guy accepting the donations was like such a jerk. He looked so annoyed that I was there. He wouldn't help us unload the stuff, which no big deal, I guess. But he was just standing there huffing and puffing as we were unloading. That's what was uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
Like,
yeah, because they never help me unload my stuff. But the fact that he was just giving you the stink eye.
Yeah, and like he was literally out loud. You could hear him like doing stuff like that.
So
and I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah.
Nobody ever helps. I feel like I'm just must be so freaking lucky at these places because they help. But they're supposed to help.
I've never had that, but maybe it's just the wrong person.
I'm usually just like waiting in the rain, ringing the doorbell.
So then, like, he doesn't help. Whatever. He's huffing and puffing and kind of gruffy. And then when I asked for the tax receipt, you would have asked him that if I could have part of his dinner. Like he was so butthurt about it. And it was just awkward. So I want to know who the a-hole is. It was 2 hours before closing. I don't know if that had anything to do with it.
Okay, if it was 20 minutes before closing, maybe. But 2 hours, no.
Let's go to the phones here. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. Good morning.
Morning.
Hey.
Yeah, the guy at Goodwill's the jerk. Yeah, a lot of them are real rude there and stuff.
Yeah.
Well, you've had the same experience?
Yeah, so I take my stuff to the Deseret thrift store down at the end of King Road, or I give the Teen Challenge.
Oh, okay.
Oh, okay.
All right. Well,
So-
I wonder
Oh,
if just, these people, a lot of these people aren't, we don't get good customer service because people don't get paid great. And so they just put in the minimal effort,
It's a no-tip job.
Yeah. So and in a way I understand, but at the same time.
It's also kind of a transitionary position. It's you get this job so you can build a resume to get a different job, and so maybe this guy has just stayed too long.
Maybe.
I mean, he's jaded at the very least, right?
For sure. And I'm sure
Yeah,
he's
and a
had
lot
to,
of them are, yeah.
I'm sure he's had to dig
Yeah, a lot of them
through
are real
some
jerks there. So.
bags with like weird stuff in them. Like I'm sure they find all sorts of gross stuff in those bags. But still, I mean, that's your gig.
You're gonna find some. You're gonna find some stiff socks. All right, let's go to the text line. We got some text messages coming in on the McLaughlin Chevrolet text line. Did someone just fall? What the hell was that?
No, I bonked the microphone. Sorry.
I'm getting up. I'm getting back up.
It's my first day.
6494 says, imagine working in the donation department at Goodwill and being mad when people bring in donations. That's exactly what I thought last last
right.
night.
Yeah.
And, I've had them get frustrated with me where I've been annoyed, because you bring items that you think that would be good for another family, and they're like, because of safety things, you got to put those back in your car, like a car seat or a stroller.
Yeah.
And so, I've gone home frustrated with them before where they could have had a little bit more etiquette on telling me, like, you scolded me, and I'm bringing you items to sell.
It's like, sorry, I didn't know.
2377 says, some Goodwill stores close early on Sunday, so depending on which store, it might have been actually at closing. If not, then he was definitely the a-hole. Yeah, I looked it up, and they closed at 8, and it was 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I mean, I got to peg this guy as the a-hole.
Well, listen to this, though. Sean Britt sent a text and said, Tanner, you're the a-hole. The person working is probably on the spectrum, and his attitude had nothing to do with you. You really never know the battles that people are going through. I understand
That's
that, but he
true,
was like huffing and puffing.
I mean, anyone can say that, though. Like, someone can be having a bad day, and you're like, he's probably on the spectrum. You have no sample of that, whether he is or is not. You know, and we all have our own different problems, but you got to still maintain the job.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, it's customer service. So.
6494 says he probably wanted to be lazy and scroll on his phone for the rest of his shift, and then you came in and then screwed up his job.
Right.
This one said, the guy's the a-hole. If that was me, I would have just go by the rule of lineage and take his whole family out of line. What? Fat Thor's on is like another acid.
Here he goes.
But he took
now
it
he's
a step
eliminating
too far
families
now.
over laundry.
1880 says, Tanner, I hate to be on the other side, but it sounds like the dude really didn't do anything at all. You're kind of making them into the a-hole.
So maybe
he's
it's just
saying
like
you've
perceived
overthought it.
aggression.
That's what he's saying.
I don't think so, but I mean, there's always that chance. But I mean, when you hear somebody behind you, and then like he threw the tax receipt at me, like the guy was not happy I was there.
And there is a chance that he had bigger fish to fry in his mind. Like it could have been easily that 10 minutes earlier a girl texted him and said, "You're just not the one."
Right.
Or
like
your mom died.
To Sean's point, you never know what somebody's going through. So that's one of the reasons I didn't say anything, but I was just like, I wanted to.
Because like if I've just gone through a tragedy and I still got to pay rent, I might not be the funnest.
Yeah.
So I guess we do not know what they're going through, but I'm still going with him.
All right. Well, the good thing is I know some of those clothes are musty as hell, so.
Yeah. Good luck, bud.
Because I was going through them yesterday before I threw them out, and I was like, these stink.
He is going to be cursing your name.
Well, if they're from when you were a big dog, that is many moons ago.
Also, to be fair, I feel like proper etiquette is to wash your clothing before you drop it off.
No, I think they're musty from sitting.
Yeah. They're not dirty from like
No,
you
I
wearing
know,
them.
but still, you could put them
whatever. I'm not
wash.
doing
They're getting them for free and selling them.
Yeah. I would assume they wash them before they put them out there.
Absolutely,
I
they
would
do.
not assume that.
That's
have you
protocol.
ever smelled those clothes?
It's protocol to wash.
You're saying Goodwill doesn't clean the products before they put them out there?
I don't know.
You standing by that?
I mean, no, I'm not standing. I don't know for sure. I'm just saying when you walk into a Goodwill, it doesn't smell like you're walking into a Nordstrom's, you know?
Yeah.
It's a
You do smell very
vibe.
expensive leathers inside of a Nordstrom.
Yeah.
That is true. I love the smell. Can't afford it, but love the smell.
I just walk by it to just feel important.
Yeah. And then they're like, get out. I can smell your pour.
I can smell your empty wallet.
866-445-1059 is the number. I want to play you this because this happened, I guess, Thursday of last week. Laura saw it live.
Yeah.
We were in the studio and it was CNN was on the TV, and this dude tried a backflip. He tried to do like a no hands backflip.
Because they were doing a story on the Savannah Bananas, which is like the equivalent of the Portland Pickles in Savannah, Georgia.
No, it's the equivalent of the Harlem Globetrotters because the Pickles play real baseball. They don't dance.
But
right?
I think the Savannah Bananas are like a minor league baseball team.
Well, so
aren't
they're like a traveling sideshow where they go
Okay.
from stadium to stadium doing their show like the
Got
Globetrotters.
it. Okay.
But I think they're way more fun than the Globetrotters. You've seen some clips, Tanner.
Yeah, that stuff looks like a lot of fun.
Either way, they're a real hoot to watch.
Yeah. Savannah Bananas. Well, one of their players, Robert Anthony Cruz, attempted a backflip on live TV, but instead he face planted it right there. And when we were watching, I didn't see it, so I was looking away, but Laura just starts uncontrollably laughing. And I go, what the hell happened?
Yeah.
And because we have the wrong cable in here, we can't rewind anything. Satellite doesn't allow it.
Yeah,
So we didn't get to see it.
Like if we had like, a Comcast or something, we would be able to rewind it, but no.
Watch it 30 times.
Laura is just laughing her ass off, and then finally I see the replays on the internet. Like it starts going viral.
Yeah.
And this dude, like Laura, you're right. Like he ate it.
It almost looked like he did it on purpose, just because it was so violent. How he felt, and like he lost a shoe.
He blew his shoe off. He's got to be concussed.
Yeah, because he hit his face on the floor.
I'm surprised he didn't like bust his lip right there.
Oh my God.
He hopped up like, where are we?
He goes, that's never happened before. Here, let me play the clip.
Man.
Here's the moment the dude tried to backflip and then ate it on CNN live.
Oh, Jesus.
What you just saw there is a brand new twist on America's favorite pastime.
So
that's what you saw. No, we watched a massive faceplant.
Yeah, he had to just keep going to this script.
Yeah, he's like, the teleprompter says that this is.
You could have acknowledged it, John Berman.
You know, they were laughing for sure.
So was it Kate next to him?
Yeah, she was like having a hard time.
She's my favorite. She's so gorgeous and she's really good at her job. And she was like covering her hands, like trying not to laugh.
Oh my God. It just broke the ability to be a newsman.
And like, if you're him.
Sorry, what, Laura?
I was going to say, if you're him, how bummed are you? Because you know he does that 15 times a night.
Lands it, and then he goes on CNN and blows a shoe.
It looks like that floor was a little slick.
Slippery.
Yeah, and I think that his shoe was coming off when he did the flip, and that's what kind of ruined the hop.
Here's the clip again.
Oh, Jesus.
That never happened.
What you just saw there is a brand new twist.
No, that, sir, was a massive fail caught on live television.
Did you hear, and maybe I'm catching it wrong, but right after the thud, does he go...
I think that's Kate, because he's not really mic'd up.
Oh, darn. I thought he was just like...
His mic flew off.
His
right,
mic fell off because he picked it up as he was getting up.
I thought that was the sound of internal bleeding.
That's what I thought, but if it's Kate,
Honestly,
it's Kate putting her hand over.
Someone should, like, I'm surprised nobody was like, oh my God, are you okay? Because he
just sat there by himself.
Face first.
No one helped him. They're like, sorry, it's not in the prompter to be compassionate.
Yes, sorry.
I want to hear this again. This is so good.
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
So anyway, Robert Anthony Cruz actually talked about it later on the internet.
I have done tens of thousands of backflips in my life. I had zero reason to doubt my abilities. Anyways, I'm standing on the stage, I get the countdown, I'm like, okay, it's time. I send the flip. Next thing I know, I am on the floor and I'm rattled. I was pretty confused. My mic pack fell out of my pocket. My shoe flew off of my foot. I don't even know how that happened. I feel bad for the news anchors because they just sat there like, okay, we're not supposed to laugh, but oh my gosh, that was funny. And then they just had to carry on, so I'm so sorry, you guys. But yeah, then I got up, I felt fine. So then I was like, okay, I maybe go about my interview, but then I see the blood dripping down from my chin and my lips. I'm like, okay, never mind. This day's probably canned.
Ouch. So they never cut back to him. Huh?
That's the guy you want.
They should invite him back
and let him flip again.
Yeah, like when that girl screwed up singing the national anthem at the Moda Center. I mean, years and years later, they let her come back and sing it, and she did great.
That's right.
Man,
her and Mo Cheeks.
I do think though that I mean it's good press either way.
Yeah.
I mean he didn't get to do the interview, but everyone's talking about the Savannah Bananas.
I don't know why they just couldn't acknowledge it.
Yeah,
nothing happened here. That guy is completely concussed and seeing stars.
All right. Well, can we put the clip up on this in a second, Laura?
Sure.
It's going to be on our blog, 1059thebrew.com. Click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Portland's Rock Station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We do got some talkbacks to listen to through our iHeartRadio app real fast. You can send us a message anytime. These messages will come right to the studio. Once you have the Brew streaming, press the microphone button at the top.
He's the a-hole. First off, he's supposed to offer you a receipt. And second off, he's probably just having a crappy damn day and is infecting you with an exclamation mark.
Yeah, I figured that. That's why I didn't say anything. I was like, he's grumpy. He annoyed me. I wasn't going to let him ruin my day.
Yeah.
So I just got out of there. But
Probably best.
And it felt good to, like some of those clothes are really nice. And I feel like somebody's going to, benefit from that. So
Someone's going to get themselves a steal.
there it is. Coming up in a few minutes, Jeff Gianola, legendary news anchor Jeff Gianola is going to be in studio with us this morning.
It's pretty exciting.
Can't wait.
Around 9:30. Make sure you listen for that. Also coming up, we got to tell you about the dumbass of the day. There was a serial butt sniffer who was arrested.
Oh, wow.
Been wondering if they were going to catch him.
Sniffing butt.
So we'll tell you all about that coming up here in less than 10 minutes. We are commercial free. It's 105.9 The Brew. Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
And now, Tanner, Drew, and Laura's Dumbass of the Day.
A lot of dum-dums running around, and this one comes to us from Burbank.
Ooh, the land of the dummy.
Yeah, it looks like there was a butt-sniffing bandit who's been arrested again.
Again?
Well, it's tough to sniff an active butt. You know, like a sleeping butt, you might be able to drift in and drift out, but to sniff awoken butts, it's going to be tough.
How do you say this name? C-A-L-E-S-E? Khalees Karen Crowder's his name. He's a registered sex offender and was taken into custody after officers tracked him from Nordstrom Rack to a Walmart in Burbank. Police say he was caught on camera crouching near a woman and sniffing her inappropriately.
Oh, my God.
Yeah, they call that Nordstrom crack.
I guess he's been arrested for similar acts, and he was on parole during this incident.
Oh, come on now.
Here's a little news report summing it all up.
New tonight at 11 is a brazen Burbank butt-sniffing bandit back at it. Burbank police say the same crouching creeper they first encountered in 2021 has been arrested again. This video is from a similar case we reported on back in 2023. Burbank police identify the man as Khalees Crowder. Detectives say they responded Tuesday to a report of a suspicious person loitering in the women's department in Nordstrom Rack in the Burbank Empire Center. When they got there, the man was already gone, but he was soon spotted inside the nearby Walmart. Police say they watched him on Walmart surveillance cameras as he entered the women's clothing section. That's where police say they witnessed Crowder crouching near a woman and sniffing her.
Bro,
Ew.
you freak.
Just checking the area.
Oh, my God.
Well, denim check.
Like, I don't even know what I would do if I just, like, was in a store, turned around, and there was just some dude, like, sniffing my butt.
You're like, what are you doing? He's all, don't worry about it.
I don't even know. I feel like I'd be so shocked. I wouldn't know what to do.
But like you don't think he'd get violent? You wouldn't think you'd boot him right in the face?
Oh, because I can't imagine he'd stick around for long. So I'd turn around, probably be like, what is going on? And then by the time I, realize that I need to punch this guy square in the mouth, he'd be gone.
What if he just, went down to sniff your butt and looked at you and said,
well, then that's okay. I take that as a compliment.
I was going to say, that's approval.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Well, there it is. The butt bandit has been arrested. I love the way he started that story off, that report.
Yeah, well,
New tonight at 11 is a brazen Burbank butt-sniffing bandit back at it. Burbank police say the same crouching creeper they first...
That's some good writing right there.
It's a crouching creeper.
Butt-sniffing bandit, crouching creeper?
Hey, what are you in for?
Sniffing butts?
Sniffing butts.
I'm a repeat offender.
You might have heard of me. I'm the butt-sniffing bandit.
It's not my first butt sniffed.
Well, there it is. That's super gross. I've seen video.
Really
People caught on
disgusting.
video, like when someone gets up and then they smell the seat real quick.
What?
Oh, my God.
I saw Casey do it. It was weird.
Yeah, it's weird that he does it every time you go to the bathroom.
Beef water. I told him stop.
Par for the course.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, some people are into that, and I think they need therapy. Lots and lots of therapy. This is also just, this little nugget.
Okay.
This is talking about a dumbass of the day from last week. Yeah. The woman who was cheating on her husband with the CEO at the Coldplay show.
Yeah.
She just resigned too.
I think it had to happen.
A matter of time.
Yeah. I mean, if you're trying to fix this PR nightmare, everyone's got to go.
Yeah, she resigned, and now Gwyneth Paltrow is the temporary spokesperson for Astronomer, the company that guy was the CEO of.
Great.
Because they fired, or he quit, or whatever. And then she stepped down, and because she was HR. And so Gwyneth Paltrow's had to come in and clean the mess up.
Of course. Give them something to talk about other than Big Spoon and Little Spoon.
Yeah.
Do you think they're going to stay together, those two? The CEO and
they're
the
not
HR?
together.
I know, but I mean, maybe
if their spouses break up with them.
Yeah, or if they were like, you know what, now we can run off together and live the life we've always wanted.
I bet it's over. I bet that moment. I bet Chris Martin ended it right there with, "Oh, look at you two.
Oh, look at you two. Oh, look at these two.
Oh, look at these two. All right, come on. You're okay? Oh, what?
Oh, what?
Either they're having an affair or they're just very shy.
Yikes.
You can see those videos at 1059thebrew.com. Just click on Tanner, Drew, and Laura. All right, coming up here in about 25 minutes or so, Jeff Gianola will be in studio to talk about his legendary career. That's all coming up. It's 1059 The Brew, Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Portland's rock station, 105.9 The Brew. It's Tanner, Drew, and Laura. We've got Jeff Gianola coming up here in just a few minutes. Going to talk to the legendary news anchor Jeff Gianola in studio.
Yeah.
But first, I hear a list of the states with the best and worst sex lives.
All right.
Okay.
The best and worst sex lives. I feel like, I don't know.
It's kind of hard to judge. I don't know exactly where to put my mind at it. Like, is it places where they need to get warm? Or is it places where they don't wear a lot of clothes? It's one or the other.
Sex education experts at Joy Love Dolls.
Okay.
Oh, boy.
So they're like,
if you're not involved in this statistic, buy one of our dolls.
But they're looking at online data in each state, looking at terms, looking for terms like how to improve sex life or low libido or libido booster.
Okay.
And so this is basically just on internet searches. Maybe a lot of people won't go to the internet. They'll just deal with their impotence.
And it is kind of a weird way to gauge it because people who Google that likely in this day and age, get a quick answer, and they might be the ones having the wildest sex at the end of the month.
They compared monthly average searches with state populations to come up with the ranking of each state that is most satisfied with their sex lives. Do you think Oregon's satisfied, Laura? Are you satisfied?
Well, I mean, I'm a terrible person to ask
Well, you're
at the
single
moment.
right now.
Yeah. But I think overall, probably, we've got a lot of resources here, at least in the Portland metro.
That's right.
So, yeah.
And I'm trying to be reasonable about it. I think all men would be like, not quite satisfied, but that's just being a dude a little bit.
Yeah.
So I'm guessing we're a little underserved to where we want it to be.
Well, states actually that you wouldn't think would be at the top of the list are at the top of the list. Like Wyoming. Wyoming tops the list as the state with the highest sexual... sorry, that's the worst state. My bad, I had it backwards.
I was going to say, wow, there's like 3 people who live there.
So they don't even have Wi-Fi out there.
Wyoming tops the state as the highest sexual dissatisfaction with 50.37% average monthly searches per 100,000
Find a
residents.
way to fix this relationship. And when there's nothing to do and you still can't do it, that's not great.
That's rough. Yeah.
And the things that they usually research there are how to increase male libido and libido booster.
Oh.
So libido more than actual dysfunction.
No accessibility.
Vermont is at number 2 with an average of 48.14 searches a month per 100,000 people. The most common searches in that state include how to spice up the sex life and how to improve libido.
At least they're being proactive. Yeah, I feel like the ones that don't search it at all, it's even worse.
Mm-hmm.
Now, they're saying that the 10 most satisfied states with their sex lives, this is based on just 0 searches, right? Like the least amount of searches. So
It's like they're fine.
Right.
They don't need advice.
Wisconsin is at number 1.
And so maybe that is they drink a lot and it gets cold.
And they eat a lot of cheese.
And they got to smash.
Get on over here, Rhonda.
All right. New Mexico's at 2 and Oklahoma at 3 for the most satisfied states.
Interesting.
Does surprise me, but they know how to get down.
Yeah.
But I also feel like those are just like prudish states.
And they don't even think about
Yeah,
sex, so
they're
they
like,
don't
I'm not
Google
gonna
it.
Google that.
I mean, there is an argument to that, and everyone's fine because they didn't look it up.
Maybe they're just embarrassed.
Wallowing in their own sadness.
Yeah, maybe they are just super prude. But
I like to think that we're crushing out here.
Yeah, we're smashing.
We're hands on hips. I mean, it's borderline professional. That's what the state of Oregon's doing, baby.
All right, in a few minutes, I hope Jeff Gianola isn't listening to this part of the show right now because
I
I
mean,
don't want to make it uncomfortable for him.
I mean, he must have done some research before he agreed
probably
to do this
knows.
interview.
He's probably actively canceling.
Yeah,
So
he's
no-
like, I just realized I got something else going on today. Sorry, guys.
But here in a few minutes, Jeff Gianola hopefully will be in the studio. That's the plan.
Yeah,
to talk
that's
to
right.
legendary newscaster Jeff Gianola after a 40-plus year career right here in Portland. Has he been in Portland the entire time?
He was gone for the ride, baby.
Right, we'll talk to him coming up in minutes. We are commercial free. Happy Monday. It's 105.9 The Brew. Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
please welcome to the show. Oh my goodness, he's got so many Emmys. I almost said enemies, not enemies.
I've got those too.
You've got those. How many Emmys do you have?
I think 8.
8 Emmys.
8.
Impressive.
He's had a 40-plus year career on television. Please welcome to the show the one and only Jeff Gianola.
Hey, listen, this is very nice of you guys to have me here.
Well, thank you for coming in. You smell great. Can I tell you that?
You do smell really good.
You came in here and it just freshened up the room.
That's good. Yeah, wait another 2 hours and you'll be running from it.
Jeff Gianola, dude, you have had such an impressive career. I've been watching you for years, my whole life. I hate to tell you.
Yeah.
I don't want to age you or anything, but I've been watching you my whole life on the TV.
Yeah, well, how about me being the one at age? You know, that's the number one thing people say to you is, I grew up watching you, and to me that's pretty humbling. You know, I sit there and I think, wow. But actually, it's the opposite. Everyone was always part of my life, but it is pretty cool, especially if you're in a Home Depot and people come up to you and say, hey. Then they ask you, do you know anything about, wood?
They just figure you have all the answers.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what I'll do next. I'll work at Home Depot.
There you go.
Now, do you try? Do you like put your reporter hat on and just start talking, even if you don't know anything about the product? Will you be like, yeah, this wood is, shipped in from Thailand?
I'm actually pretty handy. And I could get a job at Home Depot if I
Really?
wanted to. So I kind of know my stuff when I'm in those home improvement stores.
Well, you might get bored after you retire, and I'm sure they'll accept an application from Jeff
you
Gianola.
could be a forklift operator.
Yeah, you just hear the beep coming, and we know it's Jeff.
Yeah. Jeff, we got listeners right now. We'll get them on the phone and make sure that you get forklift certified.
Okay.
We'll get you certified out there. Oh man, to see Jeff Gianola work on a machine like that?
No, I would pay good money for that. And growing up here in Portland, which we did. It's funny to have you sitting here right now, right? Because you're like the true newsman, and I think in a world, and this is a question for you, is in an ever changing landscape of local news, you might be the last of the great newsmen. Is it dying off?
Yeah, because it's like radio. Television has changed. The business of television has changed.
The crew has shrunk.
And the number one change is digitally. The internet. And that changed. And we used to say, hey, we're competing against the other stations for ratings and local news stuff. We're all in the same boat now. We're competing against streaming. People watching it on. And so that's how that business is changing. I still think people want that local connection. But I'm worried they listen to morning radio. Is why they watch TV. They want that unique connection.
But I worry that local news is being strangled out. You know what I mean? Like I worry that it's dying off. That because the national news kind of relies on local news, and I feel like you got reporters out there who are not making a lot of money. Sometimes they're their own cameraman or woman, and it just is it dying? Is it always going to be around? That's my question for Jeff Gianola.
I think it'll be around in some format, but if you're asking me, will there be 4 local stations all doing 4 local newscasts? No. I think what you'll see is consolidation, and I think maybe you'll end up with 2 stations doing news, or maybe even 1 eventually. But everything's getting consolidated because what is everything about money and the business? And there you go.
I mean, you probably saw it just like with here. You just see people. The studios are more empty than they used to be. Like I would assume that you had seen this in the control room. Now, back in the day, you used to have a cameraman for every single camera. You used to have like a control guy. Well, is it all remote controlled now?
It was so fun back in the day because you had an audience during commercials if you wanted to try out jokes in the studio. So you'd have 3 or 4 cameramen. You had a floor director. In the booth, you had 6 or 7 people running everything. But now you have one supercomputer and one director.
Really?
And the cameras move around like R2-D2.
Wow. They're all robotic?
They hit one button and it cues everything from graphics to camera
angle. Oh my gosh, I didn't know that.
Everything.
Even so there's no director anymore. The computer does it.
There's a director hitting the computer. The director puts in all the directions. So it's like a super director directing. But that probably eliminated 10 or 12 people.
Well, how long until that job is eliminated? Do you think that will always be there? Or
maybe with AI, maybe.
That's what I'm talking about. It's scary. Like every single day, I hear you newsmen talk about AI and how it's going to change everything in 3 to 5 years. Do you believe that?
Yeah, I do. You already see it in use in newsrooms, when they're gathering, but I think it's pretty scary too.
Yeah.
I mean, at what point is it going to take over everything?
Right. I've heard them talking about actually AI newscasters, which is insane to me.
Are we going to get an AI Jeff Gianola?
Yeah.
Well, are you going to sell your rights?
How do you guys know I'm not AI right now?
That's a good point.
That's the only reason he agreed to come in. It's not he's
Yeah.
out golfing.
Yeah.
Are you going to golf a lot when you retire?
You know what? I used to golf years ago before I have kids. I have 5 kids. And then I just couldn't justify being out there on the weekend and not spending time with kids.
Makes sense.
It's
Wow,
just
I have
So
3,
maybe I'll
5
get back into it.
5 kids.
Yeah, he's 3
Impressive.
kids. Drew has 3, and he gets out there as much as he can.
No, yeah. So then I got some grandkids. So I'll be spending time with them and
Yeah.
doing
Yeah.
some other stuff,
Do you miss the crowds? Like, so Tanner and I have been in radio he's been in for 25 years. Like,
Wow.
I'm just short of that.
Wow.
And when we started, and him even more than me because he started in the bigger city, the radio station was full. You had full cast. You had full promotions.
I mean, there was a live body 24 hours a day.
And it's the same thing with you. You just described a full room. Like, is there a point over time where it slowly changes so it's not a big deal, or do you miss the crowd?
Oh, I miss that. I think you miss whenever how about actors when they say, or TV actors when they do it in front of a live audience, the performance is, a lot better. People are watching.
Yeah.
I always love it when visitors come to the station and there's someone, I love talking about, hey, this is how we do things.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have people in the studio, and I do miss it. And back in the day, there was a lot more of that, especially for you guys. Right?
Right.
As a kid, I remember growing up and going to a mall, and the radio station, there was a big glass front. And 24/7, you could go up there.
Right.
And they fed the audio outside on a speaker, and you'd watch your favorite DJ in there.
Yeah, and the guys would wear suits back in the day. They would wear like suit tops.
And they would wave to you. You kind of gently knock on the glass.
Can I tell you how glad I am that we're not doing that anymore?
Oh my God!
I'm gonna be like next to a Cinnabon. You know what I mean? Like waving at people like I'm a monkey in a cage. Like I'm glad I'm not doing that.
Yeah, but it was kind of fun. I used to like that.
We worked in the studio. It was on the ground floor, and people could just walk by and see us in the studio, and it's fine. But eventually, it's kind of scary too.
Yeah, it could be kind of scary.
Have you ever had like crazy fans or people like you said the other day that you get, as a newsman, you get hate mail sometimes.
Oh, you know what? I'm going to tell you, 99.9% of people are great, but there have been some. I was in that movie, The Hunted. It's a long story.
I think I also saw your face in the movie.
They put me in there. And it's a horrible movie, but some guy here. He kind of looked like Robert De Niro in Taxi, was kind of stalking me everywhere I went with the movie poster. And I would sign it, and then I'd be at somewhere and I'd look and I'd see him out in the crowd, and I was like, ooh. I'm
putting that on a
something
hotkey.
else, and it was like
that's amazing.
And I finally I told him, man, the movie really wasn't that good. I go, man,
a lot of posters, bud.
That the guy's going to kill me. But anyway, eventually I didn't see him anymore. But that's kind of scary.
Speaking of movies, don't I see your face on the side of a Max in the movie Bandits with it's Bruce Willis and Billy Bob Thornton, right?
It's in that, but it's also in The Hunted. That's why they use me. And back in the day, they used to put my mug on a lot of different stuff.
In the movie Bandits, I'm pretty sure they're on the bridge and they cut and you just see like the Max and Jeff Gianola's head's just right on the side, like a giant version of your head.
Yeah, and one of those is in that. What's that store? Liquidators, City Liquidators. They saved that and they've put that up on the wall.
Oh, that's amazing.
In there. So every once in a while, I get someone saying, "Hey, did you know that your big head is in the city?" I go, "Yeah, no, it's been there for quite a while."
And you've heard people talk about like Jeff Gianola's got a big head, not like ego wise, but like it's. Yeah. I was watching you interview Stephen Colbert the other night, and I was surprised. Like I think you could eat him in one bite.
Oh, Stephen Colbert interview. This is funny. I did that interview 10 years ago when he was just starting to take over the show.
And now he's getting canceled.
And you should listen to that interview because Trump had not yet been president. No one thought Trump could be president.
Yeah.
Because it's 2016.
Right.
And what Colbert is saying about, please God, help him get elected so I can have, jokes that'll last. Well, it all came true.
It did.
So,
and he had 11 years now that he's going to be ending in May. Do you think he'll end up somewhere else? Do you think Fox will pick him up?
Netflix,
talented.
I bet.
Say FX.
Netflix.
Maybe
He
Netflix.
probably won't want to do it's a grind to do that every night. My son Michael is in New York, the CBS page. They don't get paid, but he's been working the Colbert Show. He says, "Dad, man, it's a grind."
Yeah.
And on Thursday they do 2 shows.
Yeah.
But I think you'll see him do 1 weekly show, kind of like a
that'd be
Jon
better.
Stewart.
John Stewart, John Oliver. Yeah, that makes sense.
HBO would be another good landing spot. Maybe piggyback, because a lot of people watch that stuff on demand.
Yeah.
So even if you had it back to back.
He's a voice I think people want to hear, So I imagine he's going to end up somewhere. Maybe not with that big CBS paycheck, but
he's so funny.
Yeah.
I question, are they really going to let him go all the way till next May?
The way he's been going so hard, it's been
Yeah.
scorched earth lately.
Yeah.
And so I don't know.
But his ratings are going to go already. They've zoomed, and they're because people want to know. People kind of want to watch a train wreck.
Yeah. Well, same thing when they said Conan was going to be leaving and they're going to bring in Jay Leno back. Conan's ratings went through the roof.
Yeah, because it's excitement, and it's drama, and
let me ask you this, Jeff Gianola. You've been on television for 40 plus years. 38 years you did Wednesday Child Stories, which was an incredible thing. I was watching a video of you last night. I thought one of the coolest things, one of the most touching things for you is when people come up and say, "Jeff, I got adopted because of you."
No, I've got to tell you guys, it happens. I'm just going to tell you, in May, in a 3-week period, we were filming a promo by the Cherry Trees, and they said, talk about personal things. And I mentioned Wednesday Kid, that these young adults will come up to me and say, "Do you remember me?" And they have kids now. And the guy, okay, cut, that was great. Just then, a guy that was standing by the Cherry Trees with his 2 sons and wife said, "Jeff, do you remember me? I'm Walter." And I go, "I remember you. Wednesday's Child, a family in Staten, Oregon adopted you."
Yeah.
Just then, as I was talking about it, the very next day, a woman named Jamie reached out to me on email, said, "Do you remember you took a group of Wednesday kids to a SeaWorld in 1992? And I said, "Jamie, I don't think I have that tape anymore. And, I'd love to see how much it changed my life, and I was adopted of that." And I look in my drawer, and there on the bottom, I had a VHS copy of that.
Wow.
And then 2 days later, I was in a grocery store, and a woman who worked at the grocery store said, "Jeff Gianola, my boyfriend Michael was a Wednesday." That happens. It tells you how many Wednesday kids there are.
So cool.
It happens
For
all
we
the
did for
time.
38 years.
So
that's even a bigger legacy than your news legacy.
It is. No, you know what? You hit it on the button. That to me,
That's got to be what you're most proud of.
That's the thing I'm most proud of.
And I do want to say something before we have to go, and that is that I'm always telling my kids to sift through the excuses and to push through. And your story about your hearing and overcoming that while on the news truly inspired me.
So tell people the story who don't know, if that's all right. So you lost your hearing for a little bit, and for a while doing the news, you could not hear.
My hearing. Well, I got this disease called Meniere's. Here I'm in the communication business like you guys, and all of a sudden, it's a pretty bad disease. It destroys your inner ear and your balance, your sense of. But I lost my hearing, and I would get by on the news by streaming to my hearing aids, but even that wasn't working very well. And so I couldn't hear in-studio conversations. So, there is a funny story about that. But eventually, the doctor said, "You need to get a cochlear implant, especially on your right ear. And then next year, I'll probably get one on my left ear."
Okay.
So right now, with the headphones on, I'm just hearing out of my left ear through my hearing aids. So I hope you're not hearing any squeaking.
Not at all.
All good.
Not at all.
Because I am a little bit.
I would have never noticed. I didn't know.
Rallying through it.
I didn't know you were going through that until someone told me.
And so I thought, well, I might as well do a story on this because I know that I was hearing from a lot of people. Well, yeah, here, but but anyway, that's.
Yeah, you can share your story because a lot of people are going through the same thing.
From the operation to getting it to being activated for the first time, and it's funny, it was activated in late February, and my brain is still getting used to hearing because you hear in a whole different way.
Yeah.
And each week it gets better. Just last night, I was watching TV, and I said, I'm going to turn off the closed captions because for years that's the only way I could.
Sure.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, I was hearing about 80%. And I thought, I got to start doing that to keep training my brain.
Totally.
That's right.
For sure.
Instead of trying to read the captions. So.
Well, it's impressive. I mean, you powered through it. I was telling the story last week about a friend who got esophageal cancer, and he powered through it. He's on the radio in Miami and just worked the entire way through his treatment. And people who do that, man, that's like, it just shows a lot of, for courage, I think, strength. And
resiliency.
Yeah, man.
Yeah.
You've been doing this for so long. You just power through it.
Yeah, well, the nice thing is you hear from so many people. The funny thing is, I always tell this story. I was somewhere and a lady from across the room, she was smiling at me, but she kept saying, "Jeff Gianola, you're a lesbian." And I thought, what? And she kept saying that. And I didn't know what
That's
was
another one I'm
going
taking
on.
out of
And
context.
and I told my friend I was next to, I said, he keeps calling me. This lady keeps calling. And he goes, what? And he looks, he goes, no, she's saying you're a legend. I couldn't hear that.
Yeah.
And so anyway, that was, so it's kind of
amazing.
funny. I always look for humor with the hearing thing.
Right.
you
I
know?
love that.
Jeff Gianola, you're retiring after 40 plus years in the business. When's your last day?
Probably maybe the Wednesday before Thanksgiving.
Okay, so we have some time with Jeff Gianola.
And I
That's
have a
good.
whole bunch of stories I'm going to run starting in September, looking back. Some funny stories, some poignant stories, some Wednesday kid stories.
Let me ask you this. Out of the 40 plus years, is there a story that just sticks out? That one that just you'll never forget? The one that is memorable for you that maybe affected you? Is there a story that...
Well, I took a Greyhound bus trip across America, and we documented that. That was the thing. But I'll tell you the funniest thing that ever happened. I was doing town hall.
Mm-hmm.
This is years ago. Live show on a Sunday. We always did a UFO show. And there was reports of UFOs in eastern Oregon around Imnaha, and they would leave a burn mark in the grass. So we had a live camera at the bar Imnaha where the locals were, and they were going to talk about that. And I had a studio audience. So I was saying, blah, 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 let's go to Imnaha right now. And there was this guy, kind of a Bubba guy. His name was Bill. And I said, Bill, I'm interviewing him split screen. I go, now, what's it? Well, the lights was whirling. They was going around. And when I got there, the thing just took off. And then I said, well, I understand, though, it left something on the ground, like the bird might go. And then there's a silence. And all of a sudden I realize, I've just been set up. And the guy goes, well, and I can hear everyone in the bar laughing.
Oh, no.
I don't know what it left on the ground, but I know what I left on the ground because I earned my pants. Okay.
And this is live. There's no delay.
Live, no delay. Everyone's roaring with laughter, including
man.
me. And you know what?
What do you do?
Not one complaint.
Oh, of course.
I think you
Yeah.
got to give people credit. They know when
It's
things
an
have just
accident.
happened. Yeah,
Sure.
they're just.
I think when you make a big
amazing.
deal out of it, that's when people go, well, I'm going to complain.
But that was probably one of my most memorable. But
Yeah.
the stories I did on the 50th anniversary of D-Day, I did a documentary with local guys who had landed on the beach. And that was really, really moving.
Wow.
And but that bus trip across America is pretty moving too. And I think it was in 2000, and the country's changed so much then. And I was in Carthage, Missouri, talking politics in a donut shop with guys, and it was we were getting along great. No one was angry. And I say in this thing when I look back, I'm not sure I could have that same conversation today.
Right. Yeah.
We were all just so
Right.
different then. you
Yeah.
know?
It's when I look back at old radio, it's like a different, not just a different time, it's a different reality, it feels like.
Yeah.
So I know what you're saying. Jeff Gianola, it has been a pleasure. You are a legend.
No.
I am so grateful to have you on the show. Thank you for coming in and making our room smell good.
That's right.
Do you remember this song? My buddy Marconi. Oh, hold on. I don't want to play that version. My buddy Marconi made that song, Jeff Gianola's Giant Head.
Ah.
I think they played it.
It's from what, early 2000s radio?
Oh, yeah, Marconi. About my head.
Yeah.
Where's the song? I had it just the other day. Is this it? Yeah. I asked him if I could play it, Marconi. Well, he didn't actually say yes. He just gave me a bunch of emojis.
Okay, so
laughing and
yes.
happy face and clapping emojis. So I'm assuming that meant yes.
Just glad to be remembered.
Yeah, whatever. He's a weird guy. Big and round and red. You guys played this during the credits of one of your newscasts. Do you remember that?
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah.
I think
Full of spaghetti.
I think that won a Grammy.
I think you're right. Yeah.
Pretty sure.
Jeff Gianola, you're a legend, man. The one and only. Yeah. After 40 plus years is going to be retiring, and it's sad. We're
Yeah.
going to miss you, man.
I'll come around here. I'll visit you guys.
I hope so.
Let's do it. And
I
we'll
hope
be
so.
watching all the way through Thanksgiving.
Okay.
All
Take
right.
care, you guys.
Jeff Gianola, everybody. We'll be back.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream, powered by coffee, Jell-O shots, and depression. Please stand by. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. So be patient, for f***'s sake. Thank you for continuing to hold. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. But as the kids say, chill, bruh. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. On God. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. In the meantime, follow the show on Instagram and TikTok at Tanner, Drew, and Laura.
Thank you for checking out the Tanner, Drew, and Laura SpyCam video stream. We're currently at a break or playing a song that we can't afford the rights to. Please continue to stand by. Your viewership is very important to us. And remember, keep calm and bing bong, f***ers. Thank you for continuing to sit there like a big dum-dum. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to sit there and do nothing. Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back momentarily. In the meantime, call your mom for God's sake. Whoa, isn't this taking forever? Tanner, Drew, and Laura will be back in minutes. Thank you for continuing to hold.
Now, what's trending?
All right, online at 1059thebrew.com, we'll have some clips of legendary newscaster Jeff Gianola when he was in the studio just a few moments ago. We'll have him up online today, 1059thebrew.com. But good-looking man.
Yeah.
Smelled good.
Way
did smell
more
good.
laid back
Yeah.
and chill and roll with the punches than you would think when you think of a newsman.
Yeah, so we'll have that online, 1059thebrew.com. Also, a lot of movie trailers are posted, and that clip we posted today, Laura.
Oh, yeah, of the Savannah Bananas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll play the audio again. So this poor guy, he's from the baseball team, the Savannah Bananas, and they're like a novelty team, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
And
They're like a Globetrotters on a baseball diamond.
yeah, he tried a backflip on live television, and he ended up just landing on his face.
Even just the sound of it sounds so painful.
Yeah, here's the clip. Here's the moment it happened.
That, what you just saw there,
I got to
is
rewind
a
it. I got to rewind it because
He
the
hit
impact.
so hard. He hit so hard that Berman turns into Bill and Ted.
Yeah. The impact is just too good.
Oh, Jesus.
that, what you just saw there.
And the reason
is
you
a
hear him in the background that never happens is because when he landed and hit his face against the floor, his microphone pack
Fell
fell
right
out.
off. His shoe fell off.
Yeah, he knocked his whole
His head,
body out of the
his
way.
head bounced off of the floor.
His first look is screaming, "What day is it?"
Oh, Jesus.
Oh.
That, what you just saw there, is a brand new twist.
Oh, it's good. 1059thebrew.com. Click on Tanner, Joe, and Laura to see it. Now we will see you tomorrow with another pair of tickets to see 311. Bye.
You've been watching the Tanner, Drew, and Laura